Hi everyone, Doug and Julie here with our 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E electric vehicle. We've bought a new EVSE, a new charging cable. So in this video I wanted to share what we bought, why we bought it, and what our plans are for it. But first a disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. It may seem like it, especially since we now own two Grizzl-E products, but I promise you we bought these EVSEs with our own money. This isn't necessarily a review either. I'm going to try it out, see how it works, but then it's going to be stashed away in the front of the Mach-E until it's needed, which probably won't be very often. So what did we get? Well, this is a Grizzl-E Mini level 2 charger, portable level 2 charger. So let's unbox it because that's what you do on the internet, right? Invoice. Oh my goodness. Not much box to that. So this would be the whole carrying case. Oh boy. Okay, pretty simple. Look at all the adapters. The Grizzl-E Mini comes with a 1450 main plug, which is fairly standard, but these adapters will make it possible to plug into other outlets, like a dryer outlet or a campsite outlet. It's possible we'll never need them, but they're nice to have for emergencies. Set maximum amperage. There are Wi-Fi settings. Huh. That's interesting, so it's smarter than I thought it was. Bracketry to plug to the wall, we're not going to use that. Bracketry to mount this, we're not going to use that. So much Velcro. Look up. There it is. For a Mini, that's a mighty beefy cable. So here is the NEMA 1450, I believe. This is our standard plug. And then unlike the Ford unit, which has a removable plug here, instead we have a series of adapters. Let me get here's the grounding lead for your standard outlet here in the US. Now that's a level 1 charger. Interesting. Oh, good lord. Julie's off screen laughing at me. Let's see. This bad boy. That part looks familiar, looks very much like our Grizzl-E Classic. It's got a trigger, J1772, and a nice long cord. Yeah, that's a handful. Okay. The bag has all kinds of Velcro straps to hold everything in. I'm going to have to figure out the best way to do that. Although, I'm not sure what everything is for. So, but we'll figure that out. Yeah, pretty impressive unit. Let's go test it and see if it works. So why did we get this new EVSE? To be honest, this isn't something we really needed. Our Mach-E came with its own EVSE that offers plugs for level 1 and level 2 charging. For about the first 6 to 9 months, we used that as our main charging cord, plugged into a NEMA 1450 outlet for level 2 charging. But before long, we noticed it would occasionally overheat. It never failed, but when it overheated, it would slow down to almost level 1 charge speed. Not a big deal, but enough of a problem that Julie and I decided to invest in a more robust, semi-permanent solution. This led us to our Grizzl-E Classic, which we've had for a little over a year, and it's been working very well. We stashed the Ford EVSE in the back of the car to use when we traveled, but on our last road trip to Northern California to visit family, the Ford plug overheated again, meaning we couldn't quite charge to 100% before starting our trip home. Now, the car, and presumably the EVSE, are under warranty, so we could visit our friendly Ford dealer and get it replaced. But if you read the forums, this overheating problem is fairly common, and we felt a new EVSE would ultimately just have problems again down the road. Add to that, the problem is intermittent, which means if I go to the dealership with my complaint and they can't replicate it, they'll just send me home again. So I've been keeping an eye open for a decent portable level 1 and level 2 EVSE, and recently another Mach-E forum member mentioned the Grizzl-E Mini was actually on sale for over $100 off the original MSRP. Since we've been happy with our Classic, we thought we'd give it a try. So let's see how it works. So we are plugged in. This is kind of a temporary, this is not going to be a permanent set. This is our permanent setup. This is our temporary, just to hold it. The 1450 outlet is upside down, and that's why I can't just leave it hanging. So that's very temporary. I have followed the instructions and gone to the website and set the current limit to 40 amps. It actually is default that. We have a 50 amp circuit. We know this one works at 40 amps, so that one's defaults to 40 amps, so that's all, should be good to go. So let's plug this in. We have blue lights. We have connection. That's turned green. Very cool. Let's check the Ford app and see. Charge rate currently is just 2 kilowatts. That's not very fast. I wonder if it needs to ramp up, or I wonder if I need to look at that and see if that setting is incorrect. That should charge faster. That's. Oh, now we've stopped. Red. Not like that at all. Okay, so this looks bad, but in fact, these errors had nothing to do with the new EVSE. If you've watched our other videos, or you're a longtime Mach-E owner, you'll know that sometimes a recent over-the-air update can cause some, glitches. And in fact, that was the case here. There was an update the very night before running this test. Our usual solution to this is to just put the car in timeout and let it sit and think about why it's been bad. But on this day, we had some errands to run, so instead we drove it to our local friend Meyer and plugged into a brand new DC fast charger in hopes that it would remind our Mach-E that it's okay to charge. And that worked. After getting home from our errands, I tried the plug again and voila! I tried the level 2 plug and got 8 kilowatts, which is what we get from our wall-mounted Grizzl-E. Then I tried a 110 plug and got a whopping 1 kilowatt. But hey, it worked. Here's how it looks all packed up. The plug adapters get strapped into the lid, and the main unit straps into the base. To help protect the unit, I cut a piece of foam to put between it and the adapter strapped to the lid. I'll keep my Tesla to J1772 adapter in here as well. We'll put this whole pack in the frunk as it's a little thick to go under the panel in the trunk. We'll actually keep the Ford unit back there, not so much for our future use, but if we ever trade in or sell this car, it'll go with it. So overall, I'd say we're pretty happy with our purchase. On the plus side, it seems like a good unit with a nice long cord. It does come with a wall bracket and would probably work well as your only charge plug, although ours will stay with the Mach-E at all times. Packaged with all these plug adapters, it should work for just about any charging scenario we can come up with. On the downside, that nice long cord is pretty thick and a bit clumsy to work with, so getting this out to use, or especially getting it packed back up after use, can be a bit of a challenge. And while we appreciate the comprehensive pack of goodies, this rather large bag takes up most of the frunk. Probably the biggest knock on this unit is I don't see a UL listing, but we're still comfortable using this as it seems the company makes good quality products. Plus, it won't be our regular charging cord and shouldn't experience a lot of wear and tear, at least not while in our ownership. So, from first impressions, I would put this in the category of can recommend, but for sure we'll update if we run into any problems down the road. In the meantime, happy motoring!